Hey there, welcome to your personalized deep dive. It seems like you're ready to unlock your full potential and reach those big goals. We're going to be focusing on the idea of a mindset for success today. It's not just about talent or hard work, it's really about the attitudes and beliefs that help us move forward. We've got some fascinating insights to share with you today. We're going to be talking about how changing your perspective on rejection can be a total game changer, and why even small daily actions can lead to big results over time.
Yeah, exactly. It's really incredible how much of achieving those goals comes down to mindset. We're diving deep into the attitudes and beliefs that shape how we approach challenges and setbacks, and even our everyday routines.
Okay, let's break this down. What exactly are the components of a mindset for success? Imagine like a mental toolkit, but what are the tools?
Think of it less like a checklist and more like a way of being. It's a set of qualities that work together to drive us forward.
All right, I'm intrigued. Give me an example.
Okay, so imagine a tree bending in the wind instead of breaking. That flexibility, that adaptability to changing circumstances, that's resilience. And it's a cornerstone of a success-oriented mindset.
So, being able to roll with the punches, to bounce back from setbacks, that's key.
Absolutely. You need adaptability, that growth mindset that sees challenges as opportunities to learn. And you also need a long-term vision that keeps you focused on the bigger picture.
I really like that analogy of the tree bending in the wind. It's about having that inner strength to weather the storms.
Exactly. And just like that tree needs deep roots, a successful mindset is grounded in consistency. It's about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it, and making those small, steady efforts.
So not just about having those big, ambitious goals, but taking those consistent actions, those daily steps.
Precisely. It's about building those positive habits, the ones that become part of who we are.
That makes sense. It's not about being perfect or having it all figured out, but about having that commitment to showing up and doing the work.
You've got it. It's about embracing the journey, the ups and downs, and understanding that setbacks aren't failures.
That's really important, especially with all the messages we get about overnight success.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in those expectations. But real success takes perseverance and dedication and a willingness to learn from our mistakes.
Speaking of learning from mistakes, how can we actually build this mindset for ourselves? What are some practical things we can do?
One of the most powerful things is to embrace discomfort. Stepping outside of your comfort zone is where real growth happens. Think about it. How can you grow if you're always playing it safe?
So it's about pushing ourselves beyond our limits. But that can be scary, right? Stepping into the unknown, facing those fears.
It can be intimidating for sure, but that's also where the most rewarding experiences are. Think about a time you overcame a challenge, something you thought you couldn't do. Remember that feeling of accomplishment.
You're right. It's like that feeling you get after a tough hike or mastering a new skill. You realize you're capable of more than you thought.
Exactly. And the more you embrace discomfort, the more you expand your capacity for growth.
So discomfort becomes a signpost pointing us towards growth.
Precisely. And it doesn't have to be these huge, life-altering leaps. Start small. Take on a new project at work, or learn a new language, or talk to someone you wouldn't normally talk to.
I like that. It makes stepping outside my comfort zone seem less daunting.
Exactly. Each time you push yourself, you're building resilience.
Okay, so embrace discomfort. What else can we do?
Another crucial step is setting clear, achievable goals. Without a vision, it's easy to get lost and lose sight of your aspirations.
It's like navigating a new city without a map.
Exactly. Goals provide that roadmap, that sense of direction. And when you break them down into smaller steps, it makes the journey less overwhelming.
So it's about having the big picture and the small steps.
You got it. It's about finding that balance between dreaming big and taking action.
So when it comes to setting goals, is there a particular approach you'd recommend?
The SMART goal-setting method is widely used and very effective. Have you heard of it?
I have. But a reminder never hurts. What does SMART stand for?
Absolutely. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Okay, great. Could you break that down for our listeners?
All right, so specific means your goals should be clearly defined. Instead of saying, I want to be healthier, you might say, I want to lose 10 pounds by exercising for 30 minutes 3 times a week.
That makes sense. It's about being laser-focused.
Exactly. Measurable means you need to be able to track your progress. You could use a fitness tracker or keep a food journal.
Okay, so it's about quantifying progress.
Precisely. Achievable means your goals should be challenging but realistic.
So setting ourselves up for success.
Exactly. Relevant means your goals should align with your values and passions.
It's about choosing goals that matter.
Exactly. And time-bound means your goals should have a deadline. This helps you stay motivated.
So having that end date in mind.
Precisely. SMART goals create a roadmap. They break down your aspirations into smaller steps.
I love that.
And just like a compass, it's important to check in regularly and make adjustments. Remember, flexibility is key.
This is great. So we've covered embracing discomfort and SMART goals. What else can we do?
Something that's often overlooked is the power of our social circle. The people we spend time with really impact our mindsets and our outcomes.
So who we surround ourselves with matters.
Absolutely. Think about it. If you're constantly around negative people, it's hard to stay positive.
That makes sense.
On the other hand, if you're around supportive people, it creates a good environment for growth.
So we need to be mindful of who we spend time with.
Precisely. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and challenge you to grow and celebrate your wins.
That's powerful. It's about creating that supportive network.
You got it. It's about finding your tribe, those people who share your values and inspire you. And you know, one of the most valuable things those relationships can offer is mentorship. Having someone who's been there, who's faced similar challenges, can make a big difference.
I can see how that guidance and support would be so helpful, especially when you're doubting yourself.
Exactly. Speaking of self-doubt, let's talk about that inner critic, that voice that can be our worst enemy.
Oh, I know that voice. It's the one that points out all my flaws.
We all have it. The key is to be aware of it and learn to manage it.
So it's not about silencing it completely, but about challenging those negative thoughts.
Precisely. Try to catch those thoughts and ask yourself if they're really true or if they're even helpful.
It's like taking a step back and really analyzing those thoughts.
Exactly. And once you identify them, you can start to replace them with positive ones.
Shifting from self-criticism to self-compassion.
You got it. It's about treating ourselves with kindness.
I like that. It's about becoming our own cheerleader.
Absolutely. And the more you practice positive self-talk, the more confident you'll become.
This is all great. But what about things that can sabotage our efforts? What are some common mindset barriers?
One of the biggest is fear of failure. It's natural to be scared of making mistakes, but sometimes that fear stops us from taking risks.
It's like that saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. But it's hard to overcome that fear.
It is, but it's essential. Think about it. Everyone who is successful has failed at some point. Those experiences shape us.
So it's not about avoiding failure, but changing how we see it.
Precisely. Reframe failure as a stepping stone.
That's a good way to look at it.
And another barrier is having a fixed mindset. This is the belief that our abilities can't change.
So they think they're either good at something or they're not, and that's it.
Exactly. It prevents them from growing.
So how do we get rid of that fixed mindset? How do we cultivate a growth mindset?
First, you have to be aware of it. Notice when you're telling yourself you're not good at something. Then challenge those thoughts.
It's about being mindful of our thoughts.
Exactly. Instead of saying, I'm not good at math, say, I'm working on improving my math skills.
So shifting our focus to effort and growth?
Exactly. It's about understanding that we can improve with practice.
This is so empowering.
And a growth mindset opens up so many possibilities. It allows you to approach challenges with enthusiasm. Even if you don't succeed at first, you'll still learn.
I like that.
It's about changing, I can't do this, to I'm learning how to do this. That change in mindset can make all the difference.
This has been so insightful. I feel like we've really learned a lot about mindset.
Yeah, it's been great. It seems like you're dedicated to building a mindset that helps you achieve your goals.
Definitely. I'm starting to understand how our mindset shapes everything. Our experiences, our actions, our results.
And remember, it's a journey. There will be challenges and setbacks along the way, but the right mindset will help you through those.
That's true. So as we wrap up, what's one key takeaway you hope people will remember?
I'd say the most important thing is that you have the power to achieve your dreams. Cultivate a mindset for success and watch as those dreams come true.
I love that. It's about believing in ourselves and our ability to create the life we want.
Exactly. And remember, it all starts with one step. What's one thing you can do today to build that mindset?
That's a great question. It could be something small, like changing a negative thought to a positive one, or stepping outside your comfort zone.
Precisely. Small steps, consistent effort, and belief in yourself. That's the key to success.
This has been amazing. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us.
It was my pleasure. Remember, you have the power to create a fulfilling life.
To everyone listening, Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep believing in yourself. Until next time.